Shabbat Shalom, everybody, and you're welcome to the Shabbat of this morning. The Parashat that we are going to discuss about this morning is called Parashat Bechukotai. So the Parashat, because it means my statute, my regulation. The regulation and the statute that the Lord God has given us. Remember, what I was just saying, that God is expanding like a ripple. The ripple in the water, expanding more of his statute, of his commandment to us. But what I wanted to bring out something this morning that is very, very important. That for us as an individual, or for us as a collective community, as a family, which one do we want? It's a choice that we have to choose. And I subtitle the parasha of this morning as, which one first? The good or the bad news? You choose. Because if we look at the parasha gave us good news first, and then the bad news. Which one first? Which one do people want to hear first? The good news or the bad news? There are people that want to say, you know what? They want to hear the bad news first, then later the good news, so that they can now, want to console themselves. There are people that say, no, tell me the good news first, then the bad news. So it depends. So what I'm saying is that, which one first? The good news or the bad news? Remember, the Torah is balanced. Everything is balanced. But it is not only because people, as I say in the book of Ray, right, in Parashat Ray, some people say that this is a punishment, that God is punishing. Then I keep on telling them, God does not punish nobody. God gave a commandment. God gave an agreement between me and my people, agreement between two people, right? And the agreement is this, that you do your part and I do my part. Right? That whosoever does not do their part will have a consequence for breaking the contract. Is that a punishment? It's not a punishment. Because you break the contract, then you face the work of your hand. So God does not punish you, you punish yourself. So why do you break the contract if you don't want to be punished? Then you can't say, oh, God punished me. God does not punish you. It is you that punish yourself because you refuse to fulfill your part of the contract. So that is what I'm saying. Now, according to a 2013 study that was published in Personality and Social Psychology in the Bulletin, most people with good and bad news to share prefer to share the good news first. People prefer to share good news first, then the bad news. But researchers call it priming emotion protection. To prime. Before you paint a house, you paint it white first. You paint your whole house. They call it priming. Then, after that, after you prime your house, you now paint it with the right color. So the researcher, they call it priming emotion. People want to prime their emotion, so they prefer to hear the good news first, before the bad news. Now, this is a kind of a fancy way of saying, maybe this won't be so bad if I ease into it. But the same study show that most recipients of good and bad news prefer to hear the bad news first, if only because that produce or that reduce the worries factor. People prefer to hear the bad news first because that will reduce the worry factor. Then it's okay. Let me hear the good news. That will now, so that is the idea now. Now, if I know bad news is coming, I will dwell on that and be less likely to take seriously or pay more attention to the good news. Because remember, I told us many times, the way our brain is wired, human being in general, our brain magnetizes negative news so fast. And we hold on to it, we hold tight. But the good news, it just fly away. It just fly away. That is the problem of the man, because that is where the brain is wired. Look at, for example, a couple in a relationship. The man will only remember all the bad things the wife has done. He will never remember any good one. Are you saying that in 20 years, in 10 years, in 5 years, even in a 1 year relationship, there is no good thing that no single one that woman has done? But we don't remember that. We only dwell on the negative. And the same, and vice versa. The same thing with the woman too. They will only dwell on the negative, not the positive, because the brain of the man grab negativity and he hold onto it. But the positivity, we let it go. So now, maybe that's because we tend to prefer story with happy endings. No research is necessary to confirm that, because everybody wants a story with happy ending. Like, oh, ever living happily after. I know how they say that. Okay, happily ever after. That's the way they say in this children's movie, you know, in Hollywood, you know, they say happily ever after. You know, and everybody like that, and which is true, me too, I like that. You know, nobody wants the negative one, right? So now, most people tend to feel anxiety and discomfort when receiving a bad news. Thus, the news recipients may choose to receive the bad news first, so that the following good news will ultimately help to make them feel better. Research confirms that most people will rather give good news first, while the receiver prefers to hear the bad news first. Most research, right? I say, most research confirms that most people will rather give a good news first, but people prefer to hear bad news first, so that when they hear the good news, they are consoled, they are comforted. By and large, the Torah itself, which is immortal, the Torah is eternal, right? The Torah is forever because it's the word of God. Does give us insight and direction for the past, the present, and the future. So what did Torah say concerning this question? That is the question we are going to ask this morning. What did the Torah say concerning the question I asked you? Which one first? The good news or the bad news? Which one first? Which one do we say first? So, the answer is quite simple. The Torah is replete with examples of positive and good news first, followed by the negative. A few of the many examples of this include the blessing and the curses in Parashat. You know, the Torah always gives the positive news first, and then the negative one. In every part of the Torah, you always see the positive first, then the negative. So what is the negative? Or sometimes we see the positive is so small, and the negative is like this. What is going on? What is going on? No, why is the positive so short and the negative is so wide? You say, oh man, this is not balanced. You know, this is like disbalance. You know, so we start thinking in our head, like for example, the parashat that we have today. The blessing is short and the negative is so wide. So no. Why is God doing this? There's a reason. So let's see. Now, as I said, the Torah is filled with all these examples, which you can see also in the book of Devarim, in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 21, verse 26. He said, "You can therefore see that I am placing before you both blessing and a curse. You choose one. It's your choice. God will never choose for you, because you are a free agent. You choose the one that you want." So the same thing here. The Torah in this week Parashat Bechukotai speak of the tohaha, of the negatives, the public rebuke and warning of the Hebrew people regarding what might happen if they rebel against God. God is giving them a warning. He said, if you rebel against my commandment, if you rebel against what we agree, it's not like a commandment like that, but our agreement. Because remember, the agreement is not for one person. It's an agreement must contain at least minimum 2 people, right? Between Mr. A and Madam B, or Madam A and Mr. B. So that is an agreement. So in High Sinai, we have an agreement that was signed by blood, no? And God said, this is it. And all our people, all our forefathers say, hey, yes, we do, okay, we do everything, right? We agreed, there was an agreement there. So, and it was signed. So now, God is telling us, This is what will happen if you, if me, if any none of us we do what? We disagree that agreement. Because that agreement cannot be disagreed. No, it has to be as the way it was. The way we signed it, there is no changing. Like in our, what do you call it? In our own, in the law. Let's say in the what's the name in Ottawa? What's the name of the it's not Congress.
Parliament.
In the Parliament, thank you. In the Parliament, in the Parliament in Ottawa, they say we have what is called amendment. Amendment to the law. You know, they say no, this law we don't like it again. Let us amend it. You know, this one, I think this law is outdated. It's old-fashioned. Let's amend it, right? But in the Torah, there's no amendment. It's eternal. You can't amend it. It has to stay like that the way it is. But it can be improved upon, and God improved upon it many times. It's not amending nothing. It's just improvement. It's just telling us that okay, in this situation we have the Torah that is given 10,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago. Okay, how can we apply that Torah in today's 21st century? So we have to improve, right? To say, okay, this is the way to do this, way to do this. But the fundamental, the cornerstone, the foundation is single and is solid. And that's it. Do not kill, do not steal, do all this. It's simple and it is written in our DNA. Everybody knows that. You don't need the Torah to tell you that. You know that naturally. So let's see what he's saying now. So God is warning the Hebrew people that if they rebel, they will face the consequence of their action. Here again, the Torah first mentions the good and then the bad. In the beginning of Bechukotai, the Torah states in the book of Vayikra chapter 26 verse 3, if you follow my laws and are careful to keep my commandments, I will provide you with rain. What is rain? What is rain? Rain is an open sign of blessing seen throughout the Torah. Because remember the place that we live. We live in the desert. So rain in the desert is a blessing. People think that, oh, the desert is dead. The desert is not dead. If rain fall upon the desert, you see in a week time, go down there, the whole desert will blossom. Flower will grow from nowhere. Nobody planted them. But the flowers, the seeds are just there, dormant, because there was no rain. Once the rain falls, you see all kinds of flowers growing. Until when the water go out again, they die. So that is the life in the desert. So rain is a blessing in the desert. Unlike here in Canada, they, I'm tired of this rain, I don't want it to rain again, this snow is too much. But for us in the desert, rain is a blessing because it is one that give us life. Because if there is no rain, there won't be food. You cannot plant, you cannot sow, you cannot do nothing because there is no rain. So God keep on repeating that I will give you the rain. But why drought, I mean no rain, is a cause. Of course, if there is no rain, there will be no plant, there is no reaping, there is no nothing. So the people will starve and they can die. So once again, we have the positive of observing the Torah and receiving the reward of rain, followed immediately by the negative warning. If we don't follow the Torah, bad things will befall us. If we don't listen to the word that God has commanded as to the agreement that we have agreed upon. And it says this. On this line, on this pasuk, on this verse, there's a Rabbi Baruch Halevi. He made a statement in his Sefer, in his book that is called Tosef Braha. He quotes a question from the same commentary of Israel regarding why the blessing comes short and the concise and short and concise, and why the cause is so extensive and elaborate. The answer generally is this. Speaking is because the good characteristics outweigh and are greater than the bad midot. Meaning, remember I said the blessing is short and the negative is so big. So Rabbi Halevi is saying, he's trying to tell us, explain to us why this is so. What he's saying that the short blessing that we think is short, right? The short blessing, if we read it perfectly well, it outweighs negativity. To us, it might seem very short in a sentence, but if we begin to open them one by one to see the meaning of what God is saying and of what God has commanded, I'm telling you, my people, you will be astonished. Reading all the negativity, say, oh, this negativity is just so long. Actually, there's nothing inside it. But when we begin to open that blessing, you say, yes, God actually loved me. It looks compact, but it's not like that. It's actually bigger than the negative. So now he said, Rabbi Halevi continue with a short psychological insight that good comes in short bursts and in small amounts. In the event something good from the blessing is lacking, it is no longer good, but will be replaced with something else that is good. That's what he's saying. I repeat again, Rabbi Halevi said that that good thing comes in short, small, and in short bursts. There is in physics, there is a kind of a sound they call the short burst in physics, like the kind of ray, because you just in a nanosecond, boom, energy, enormous energy, and you think that it's small. No, it's enormous. Right? That they say it comes from some long distance stars or from long distance galaxy or so on and so forth that we can detect here on Earth. That if you can trace it to the source, it's an enormous energy, but in short bursts. So now the same thing here. That if God promised you something that is good, if God has commanded goodness and blessing, which I know He has already done, and the rabbi is not explaining, if something in that goodness that God has promised you is not fitting to that goodness, God is still good, but it's not 100%. It's still like there's a point in that goodness that is 90%. It's not full. God will remove it, and God will replace it with 100% full. So that is the idea, that it might look small, but it's not small, it's enormous. So, on a personal note, for me, okay, on a personal note, I will say this, that I interpret the coming of the good first because I hope to take the bracha, that means the blessing, the good, and use it effectively so that there will be no longer need for the word, the other shoe, the negative. So I'm giving my own understanding. For me, I prefer to take the good first, to hear the good first, to take the good first. And so therefore, once I take the good first and I understand what the good is saying, there is no need for me to take the second one or to hear the second one, which is in negative, because I don't want it. I take heed to the Torah, because the Torah said, okay, do this, I follow. It's not that you are a zombie. That people say, oh, this God think I'm a zombie. No, it's not. God didn't say you are a zombie. He created you not zombie. If God wants you to be a zombie, He will have programmed your brain to be like that of a chicken, or to be like that of a goat, or to be like that of a cow. Those are well-programmed brain to follow instruction. God, the least programmed brain in all creation is that of a human being. God doesn't program it like that. God, He wants you to have a choice, to be free. Right? So that is why God did not program you like other animals. He gives you freedom. Right? To choose. Freedom of choice. So that when the consequence comes, you don't say, it is God that forced me. No, you choose it by yourself. Nobody forces you. So, as for me, as I said, I would prefer to hear the good news first, take the good news, so that I don't need the other shoe. I don't want the other one. I don't want the bad one. So, that is what I'm saying. Let me take something good now in the hope that the bad will never come. That is the idea. You take what is good, follow the instruction, and the bad will never come. You don't need it. So, why do you want to suffer yourself? Why do you want to be in pain? You know, why do you want to there is a saying, I'm sorry for our women. Our women are wonderful women. They are great women, you know, and they give us life, and they understand, and they give us everything that we own in our life. But among the men, we always say, you know, in the rabbinical community. We said women they never learn. So why women never learn? When they are giving birth, when they are giving birth, they call the husband. And then they go back again and do the same thing. So what is going on here? Our women are good women. They are wonderful women. They give us life. They give us everything. It's just a saying, that okay, why do you want pain? Why do you enjoy pain? Right? But understand, it's not like a pain. It's a pain of joy in the case of our women, because they are giving life. They are giving us children. It's a pain of joy, not the negative pain, not the negative pain that I'm talking about, but that God is saying here. But it's a positive pain, because life is giving. It's just an example, right? So finally, before we go, we are reminded that a relationship with the Holy One, blessed be He, is not one-sided. It is not a relationship of taking without giving. Remember, this is a relationship. Remember, everything in the Torah is all about relationship, not religion. Please, there is no religion in the Torah. Torah is all about a relationship. And this is the relationship that the Holy One is saying. The relationship is not one-sided. Right? It's not only God give me, God give me, God give me, God give me, and you have nothing to give back. No. Not take. The Holy One, blessed be He, is not some sort of genie. Genie in the pot. Or in the bottle, or I don't know that whose purpose is to fulfill every wish that you wish, all your desire. Oh, Jenny, I want to fly. And the Jenny say, hey, voila, he fly you. Say, Jenny, I want limousine. Voila, limousine. God is not a genie. No. The relationship is two-way. It's not one way. It's a two-way relationship. You and your God. You and your Creator. You give and you take. You give and you take. It's not just take. I mean, as I said last week, how many things are we taking from the universe? How many things are we taking from nature? Do you give back? Or do you give back? It's not for you to take and take and take. Your essence, our essence, my essence, is not to take and take from nature without repaying back. No, I have to give back. I have to pay back. I have to make sure that things are left the way it is. Everything has to be balanced. If we disbalance it, we're in trouble. So, as I said now, our relationship with the Holy One, blessed be He, is dependent upon our own loyalty to Him. We have to be loyal to God, to our Creator. Being loyal to the Holy One, blessed be He, is not only a question of refraining from worshiping other gods or from placing institutions and all pleasure before the Holy One, blessed be He, but it is also dependent upon our active participation in the relationship. Oh, I'm loyal to my God. God, I did not have idol. I did not bow down to one image in my house. No, that is all. God, I don't care about Canada. I love my God. Okay, you know what? I don't care about my children. I love my God. Good. But what I'm saying, that is not the end. That is not saying that you are loyal to your God, but participation in the relationship. You don't have to sit down idle. There is no idleness. God hates idleness. Remember, there's a thing that says, a man that does not work should not eat. God said, go to the ark. God is commanding Adam that from your sweat you shall eat. It's a command. And that is it. There is no idleness in the world, in the relationship. It's an active relationship. So you do your part, God do His part. Not you sitting down and you want only God to do His own part. That doesn't work, my friend. So, we respect by honoring. We honor by showing our love. And we show our love by willingness to actively do things for the one that we love. I repeat again. We respect by honoring. Right? You respect God because you honor Him, by honoring Him. You honor by showing love, because it is because of love that makes you to honor. It's not because you are afraid. No. Love, in love, there is no fear. There is no fear in love. Right? Anything that is fear is not of God. That's what I'm saying. Love is not fear. Because you love, you show honor. And when you show, and we show love by doing what? By willingness, taking active part in that relationship. So, what is love then? For love is active, not passive. Love is not passive, it's active. Actually, every time. That is love. Love is active, not passive. We cannot say that we respect, that we honor, and that we love God if we don't strive to keep His Torah. That is where I am going. Right? Oh, God, I love you. God, I wonderful. God, everything is hunky-dory, fine. But the Torah, garbage. Right? I have what is called New Testament. Because my New Testament tells me this. The Torah is the foundation. You are telling me, oh, I want to build a house. This house is a wonderful house. I don't need a foundation. I just build the house. Okay. God bless you. Continue building the house without foundation. Then we see the consequence. When the rain falls, when the wind blows, right? When the storm comes, we see if that house will stand. You cannot remove the foundation and say the foundation is what is garbage, but my house is beautiful. You are wasting your time. You are building it upside down. So this is the idea. So we show the love that we have for God by keeping the Torah, the commandment. His statutes, his regulation that He has commanded us. So now, to expect reward without doing that which is required, and to disdain punishment when His covenant has been violated, is the main ingredient of a self-centered, self-serving individual. Someone who can never be relied upon by God or by a man. A man who said, you know what? I need what? I need a reward. But he didn't keep the Torah, and he wants God to give him all the reward. Right? A man that broke the entire commandment, and when the punishment comes, he complains. He says, no, this is unjust. This is not right. This is not good. But you break all the agreement. Such a person is what we call a self-centered man. Someone who is what here I said a self-centered, self-serving individual. Such a person can never be relied upon by God or by his fellow men, because it's self-centered. It's only me. It's ego. It's I. Nothing else. Emptiness. So therefore, my people, Parashat Bechukotai. God is telling us which one first. Which one do you want first? The good news or the bad news? The bad news or the good news? You decide. It's your choice. But as for me, as I said, as for me, my choice. I want to hear the good news first. I want to take the good first. So that I don't need the bad one. And I advise you the same. To take the good news first. When you take the good news, you don't need the other shoe. Why do you need it? You don't need it. You stand firm with the good one. And you follow the instruction. Instruction is not hard. You see your car, right? Finally. You buy an engine. And in the instruction say, put oil in the engine. Right? As a purpose, the person says, put oil. It's instructed in the instruction. I say, oh, you know what? I don't need the instruction. Oh, this is an engine. Oh, brrr. It will start. It's not like it will start, but it will start 2 seconds and explode because there is no oil in the engine. But the instruction says, put what? Put oil in the engine. So this is the same thing that the Holy One is telling us. Is if we follow the instruction, everything will work smoothly for you, for me. It's not for him. Remember, the command is not for him. He doesn't need it. It's to better your life, to better our civilization, our understanding. For us, it's not for him. Because the Holy One knows where the holes are, where the dangers are in this physical world. So he wants you to bypass them. He wants to save your what? He wants to save you. For our God is your salvation. It's our salvation. Don't touch here. This area is not good. There's a hole here. There's a danger there. There's a danger there. This is how you can bypass them. That is it. But if you say, oh, you don't care. If you said that he's talking rubbish, it's your choice. But when the consequence comes, don't cry. Which one first? The good or the bad? The bad or the good? You choose. Shabbat shalom.